Hi, my name is Brendan Bartic with Brendan Bartic Real Estate Coaching, where our mission is to train the most elite real estate agents and coaches on earth. Today we're going to talk about how to hunt and thrive with expired listings. All right, so expired listings. Now, this is very true to my heart. I built my entire career off of expired listings. When I started in the real estate industry, I had, I started out as an assistant to a top producer. She was one of the most dominating expired listing agents I've ever seen, maybe and ever will see in my life. And she was absolutely phenomenal. So Susan Heller, if you're out there, again, wow, just absolutely impressive. And she was my mentor. I learned every possible thing that I could from her. And what I learned from her was that expireds comes down to three basic main subjects to make that sure that you're going to have success with them. We're going to talk about all three. The first is where to find them, right? We got to find them so we can, obviously talk to them. Then, obviously how to call them, the scripts, the dialogues, what you're going to say, all of that great stuff. And then how to list them at the listing presentation. So again, we got to find them. We've got to learn how to call them and set the appointment. And then we've got to learn how to list them. And this all starts with the psychology of an expired seller. All right. So with expireds, a lot of people try to do this. The agent goes, you know what, I'm going to get in that expired game. All right. I'm going to start calling expireds and all this. Now, for some of you, you don't even know what I'm saying when I say an expired listing, right? An expired listing, and that's okay. I didn't either when I started. So an expired listing is a seller that had a listing agreement with a previous broker who for some reason didn't end up selling with that broker. Either the broker wasn't good, the house had some concerns, something was an issue somewhere along the way, and then that property ended up expiring and it comes up on a list because there was a contract date with that original agent. So their agreement expired. Now, when we're starting that out, the first piece is where to find these expired listings, okay? We have a number of different resources. We've got the Red X, Vulcan 7, Land Voice. You can do it manually, right? So those are services that you pay for that provides you all of the expired listings, and they're fantastic, and they coordinate all this information for you and do all of this stuff. So you basically have a list of expireds, all the phone numbers, a database to nurture them in. My preferred format was the Red X. It's the one that I built my career on, had a great success. They were one of the first out there really doing this. So I just feel that they have a lot of experience in that realm. So again, the Red X, and again, I'm not sponsoring them. I don't get anything for this, but just, they're a great company if you're looking to do that. Now, then you have Mojo, you have dialing services that also have got into this game. And it all comes down to whoever can find the most information in their algorithm accurately the fastest. The whole thing about this is getting the information and then getting it into an organized manner so you can call it and strategize on it, or have a strategy to call it on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis, okay? Remember, it's not that you're going to call 5 expireds today and one of them is going to sell with you. That's not the name of this game. That might happen, and it does happen to me plenty of times, but it's consistency over time that's going to lead to these massive results, okay? So, where to find them. Now, you can also do this manually. So every day there's a hot list in your MLS that comes up for all the listings that came off the market the day before. Super easy to do. Just search expired listings one day ago, and then it'll pop up every morning for you. You can have this sent right to your inbox, right to your email, however you want. You can then take that list, and with that list, you can do a number of things. You can use True People Search, which is a free service, so truepeoplesearch.com. Right? True People Search. You go in, you put the address in there, the person's name. It'll try to find any contact information for you. Boom, you're up and running. You've got free information. You can contact the sellers. You're ready to start rocking and rolling. Number 2, if you can't get their phone number, door knock them. If you're going to play this game of expired listings, and I teach an entirely full-length class on this, you're going to want to make sure, and again, in the full course and webinar, you're going to get all of our tips, our tricks, our letters, our tools, everything that we do Today I'm going to give you a couple of pro tips here that I think will really get you, interested in wanting to do this, because it is a very successful bucket. Again, there are 30 in any market for the main part. Now, your market might be totally different. There's at least 1 to 30 to 50 expireds per day. Let's just say you had one. That's 30 opportunities for somebody that needs to sell, has already decided to utilize a real estate agent, but for some reason they didn't get to the finish line. 30 chances, if there's just one a day, 30 chances a month for you to be that person's hero. Now, in our market, we average about 30 to 35 a day. 30 chances a day here in Denver, in the Front Range area, for opportunities for me to help sellers get them to the finish line, right? They need me to help them. How great of a world is that? That's one of the best things on earth, right? So that's why expireds are so powerful, is because they already want to sell. They already selected an agent to list with. They just didn't get there because that agent, either something went wrong along the way. I'm not always going to say it was the agent's fault, but a lot of times it was the agent's fault, let's be honest. So we're going to go in there and make sure that we're the hero or heroess or whatever it is. So moving forward with it, right? So that's where we got to find them. So you could door knock them. If you just door knocked one expired a day, 5 days a week, those are 5 opportunities to meet with a seller that needs your services. One a day. Look at your calendar, look at your the locations of the expireds. Find one that's close to the way home, on your way home from work, or if you live right next to your office, one that's within a close radius to you, and just do one a day. Go door knock it. Remember, out of 30, if you're getting 30 of them a day in your MLS, only about 5 to 7 of those are going to be able to find good contact information with the algorithms. So that means there's usually about 20 some odd properties that the only way you can get in contact with the seller is to go to their door. Now, pro tip, you go to the door. People are like, what should I bring, Brendan? Should I bring my whole listing package? Should I bring all of this stuff? No, right? What you should be bringing is a yellow sticky notepad that said, had a few questions about your home. Can you please give me a call, Brendan, and your phone number? Okay? And you stick it on their door. That's it. You don't, if they know you're a realtor, going in the trash. All I want to do is get a chance to speak with them so I can talk to them about the property and what I can do to help them. All right, so that's a pro tip. Do not take anything to the door. Now, if you're going there in person and you're meeting them and they're like, you could have your listing package with you and your little pad folio. You could have a number of different things. That's a different story if they're there at the door. If they don't answer, sticky note. Sticky note. Call me and my first name. Okay, that's it. Not that I'm a realtor, not my company, nothing else. Second part. So now we've located them. We've got contact information, or we door knocked them, or we're ready to make our phone call. Right? So now I'm going to talk to them and I'm going to use a script. We have an amazing expired script that I've developed and refined year after year to make sure it's set perfectly for us to have success in a rhythm to get to setting the appointment. It's designed perfectly. So if you're interested in that, there should be a link below that directs you on where to go get that. We have our entire script book and then 50 of the most common real estate objections handled that I've wrote myself to make sure that you can be equipped for anything any seller is going to tell you on the face of the earth, right? So get good at those, then you're going to have a lot of success with this entire process. There's a lot that goes into expired listings. Number one is consistency. You got to be consistent. You just have to be. Then you've got to be really good on the phone, right? So if you're not a really good phone skill person, or you think that you have that limited belief in your mind, the only way to fix that is practice. Role play, role play, role play, practice. Script, memorize it, write it down, whatever you got to do to get this script in your head. Well, Brendan, I don't like scripts. It doesn't sound authentic. It's because you haven't gotten in touch with that script tight enough to make it sound like yourself. The script the script is there to cause a certain action, which is setting the appointment. You get on the phone, you go, hey, John, saw you came off the market, so what are you going to do with that house? Good luck, if that's your script. Good luck. Everything's designed, and again, it's designed to make sure that the seller themselves has a great experience too, right? They want to sell their house. They just don't want to deal with another goofball to get there. They want to deal with somebody that's a boss, that's an absolute beast. They want to deal with somebody that's just phenomenal. And that's who you have to be. So when you're making these calls, a lot of this comes down to mindset. You've got to be ready to be on fire. Your energy's through the roof. You're standing up. In the full course, I'll show you what my office looks like. You've got a mirror, you've got scripts, you've got objection handlers, you've got everything ready to go. You start at 7:30 in the morning. You're doing 15 minutes of role play. You're all jacked up. You're excited because you know the next expired you're gonna call is gonna be your next appointment. That's gonna turn into your next listing. That's gonna turn into future business. That's gonna turn into you making 15, 20, 30,000, 50,000, depending on the listing price. You're so pumped up about this because you're like, what a great profession where I actually get to do this for a living. That's the mindset you have to have, right? Then you're having affirmations. So you're doing all your affirmations. My next call is going to be my next appointment. My next call is going to be my next appointment. My next call is going to be my next appointment, right? You're getting so pumped up. And yeah, is this cheesy? Of course it is, but it works. It works. I can only promise you that. When I started my career, I locked myself in a closet, basically, more or less, and I just started lighting up the phone. And it took me, I think it was about 30 days until I actually took my first listing. It was a piece of land, so it wasn't even a property. And pro tip, call the land, right? Make sure you get the land expireds. And that was my first one. And then from there, it was 2, 3, 7, 9, 10, 15, 20, 30 a month from expired listings. Okay? So I can't tell you why I'm so passionate about teaching this is it changed my life. It can do the same for you if you follow the principles and systems and you take the time to do the work. Now, I see people do this all the time. They start calling them up. They'll call for a week and they're like, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I didn't work. I didn't get any deals out of it. Then there's two things that are happening. Number one, your expectations were incorrect because you thought that you were going to just come into this game and just start blasting through it. Number two, your skill level isn't where it needs to be. So your skills aren't there. So you're not going to have as much success, right? Number three, your presentation or your value package to the client isn't strong enough. Right? Your value package to the client isn't strong enough. Here's one question I would like to ask all of you. Why should I use you? And you would think that would be a simple question. And I ask this quite a bit to all the clients that I coach and work with, my real estate team. Why should I choose you? What do you do that's different? What do I care? What problem do you solve for me? Right? And you need to start practicing that objection in your mind because if you don't know I get agents a lot of times, here's what I always hear. Well, I'm really honest and I have good customer service. So does the teller at Starbucks. So does the cashier, not teller, excuse me. So does the cashier at Starbucks, but I'm not going to use them to sell my home. What makes you special? What makes you powerful? What makes you different? Why would I want to work with you? Right? Now, a lot of people that are really good at this have such energy and charisma that they'll just wow people. And you don't really have to have that great of a package, right? For some people, you're not that, expressive, blah, blah, blah. You need to have an amazing package and you need to learn and go to, presentation classes on figuring out how to act and show enthusiasm. People want to work with people that are excited and energetic and that they think are like, wow, this guy's or gal is an absolute powerhouse. This guy's jumping out of his skin to sell my house. That's who I want working for me, not, hi, my name is Tom. I was wondering if you'd like to sell your house with me. No, please. Don't be that. But this takes practice. That's why you have the mirror and you have the energy and you have to constantly be standing up. You have to have a headset. You've got to be jacked up to do this. If that's not for you, then don't play around in this arena. You're not going to enjoy it. I can promise you that. Okay? Now, looking at that, the third part is what we have to do in the listing section to get these to go to actually list these properties when we meet with the seller. So we talked about, right, number one, we've talked about where to find them. We've talked about using scripts, energy, power, all of these things and how to call them and do that piece, right? And we have the links to the scripts below. And then number three is what you're going to do when you actually go on the listing appointment. So just some pro tips on the listing appointment. Remember, on an expired listing, more than likely, you're not the only one getting in touch with them. So you're going to have competition. The first pro tip is always, always, always try to be the first appointment, right? If you're calling them at 7:30 a.m., can you be there today at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever the soonest appointment is? If they go, actually, hey, I'm already meeting with 2 agents, one tonight at 4 and one tomorrow at 9 a.m. Oh, great, I can actually be in your neighborhood today at 2. The reason you always want to be first is because you go in first, you tell them how great you are, they cancel the other 2 appointments, you put the lockbox on, and the other people never have a chance. I've sat in many sellers' house and called agents right there and said that the seller has made the most amazing decision to work with the number one agent, or at the time I wasn't the number one agent, the best agent in Denver. And unfortunately, they no longer need you to come over. So they wish you the best, and again, have a good day, right? Made that call a lot of times. And people are like, oh, that's rough, that's harsh. No, it's not. This is again, this seller needs me. I know they need me. I know that I'm going into this with the mindset that I want to make X amount of money in my real estate career. So it's a win-win. They need the best. I need to make money. Let's put those things together. I don't need other people confusing them with all their other baloney that they're going to try to tell them, right? I know I'm the best. And now this comes from, if you don't have a good value prop, then maybe you shouldn't be doing this. I hear agents all the time, well, I don't really do a lot to get homes sold. Well, then don't do it. Then don't work with expireds. We teach an entire listing presentation course that is absolutely phenomenal, that teaches you every single step. We give you our entire listing presentation from start to finish that helps you build this piece, because it is the most valuable part. If you don't have a great value prop, you can't really feel confident. You're going to have a trouble getting on the phone unless you're just a master, BS artist, right? Then you might still be okay. But let's start with your value prop so you can tell them why you're so amazing. All right. So now, right, we've got that. We're going to send the pre-listing package. So if we don't have the appointment that day, boom, I'm having the pre-listing package couriered to them, which has a copy of our marketing plan of action, sample marketing, boom, that's there. So now, even if they interview somebody else, if I wasn't able to get first, they see how professional I am, and they go, and the note says, it's very written in there, hey, I'm very excited to see your property. In fact, I may already have a buyer for your home. Look forward to meeting you tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Okay? Now, looking at that, we want to send that because, again, if they meet other agents, we don't want the same thing that we just talked about happening if they got in there before us for some reason. So we want to make sure they know we're amazing, and then we're there. Now, the second reason is it saves time when you get to the appointment because they already have seen your pre-listing package, okay? Number 2, the next thing is I'm going to call the previous agent that had the property expired and find out what the situation was. Pro tip. Call the previous agent before you go on the appointment and find out what the situation was on what went wrong, right? Agents are like, well, what do you mean? Blah, 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 blah. Now, I want to know the scenario. So, hey, Susie, hey, I know that your property came off the market there at 123 Elm Street. Hey, I just wanted to give you a call real quick because I've got a meeting with the seller here tonight. Or you don't have to say that. Maybe if you don't want to tell them that you have a meeting because you're worried about that for some reason, you could say, I have a client interested in the property. Remember, you're always a buyer, so you're always the client. So I have a buyer that was interested in the property. Can you tell me what happened with the scenario? What happened with the deal? Oh my gosh, we had 50 offers, seller was crazy, has 90 cats, You want to find out every piece of detail you can before you walk in that property. Everything you can before you have that meeting, okay? Now, I also research the seller, so LinkedIn, Google them, find out who they are, what they are, what business are they in, all of that, because it gives me talking points when I'm there, which builds rapport, which makes me amazing, which is why we list so many properties, okay? So I'm going to do the legwork before I even go near this appointment, all right? I'm going to research the property, so I'm going to drive the neighborhood. I'm going to make sure I understand what the scenario was. If there's other comparables, maybe I'm looking at them and calling that agent to see what the situation was and why these other comparables aren't selling either, or what kind of activity they're having. Okay? So it's all about preparing, right? So think about that as you move forward, right? Make sure that you're ready to rock and roll. Now, when I get there, then it's just full on, boom. We have an entire process that we teach on how to do this, but it's high energy. It's I'm here to save you. It's here to help you. Here's what I do that's going to get you to where you want to go. Now, again, I'm not packaging this. There's a very sophisticated way of how we present all this information. And again, we teach that in a different course, but it's all about energy. The last agent failed them in their mind most of the time. You're there to save them. You're there to be their hero, right? So be that hero for them, right? Remember that from your mindset. I'm their hero. I'm their hero. Your affirmations before you go into the appointment. I'm going to be I'm going to walk out of here with a signed listing agreement and get this house sold for them to really help them get to where they want to go. No one's better at this than me. I'm the greatest agent in the area. I'm the number one agent in the area, right? This is all in your mindset. If you exude that confidence, I guarantee you they're going to want to work with you. If you go in there and you're kind of not as good. You're not going to have the kind of success. Now, of course, you want to match and mimic and do all these skills that we learn. If they're super chill and you're like, right, and you're super high energy, then that's going to repel them as well. So you're going to match and mimic, but you're still going to come with confidence and you're going to come with energy and power and all of these things. So to recap it, those are the 3 basic steps. Now, there's a lot more finesse that goes into this, a lot more that can go into, and looking at the entire process, right? What is your expired system? All right? If you're going to do this, start developing and say, what is my expired system? Or do I just call expireds once in a while? It's got to be systematic, it's got to be consistent, and you've got to get better at your craft. So, to recap, where to find them? RedX, Mojo, LandVoice, TruePeopleSearch.com for free, door knock them, all that great stuff. Number 2, how to call them. Role play your scripts. Get that expired script so smooth and so confident. Have an environment around you where you have a mirror and energy and objection handlers and everything that you need to be ready to do this at the highest level. And then number 3, do your research before you go on the appointment. Call the old listing agent. Call other agents in the area. Drive the neighborhood. Research the seller themselves so you can talk to them and have some sort of idea on who they are, the rapport. Make sure you're ready to rock and roll. And then lastly, have great energy, great confidence, have a great value package. Make sure you can answer that question, why me? What makes me special? Right? What makes me the reason why I'm going to save you? Get that really deep in your head first. And you can, and again, some suggestions on those things. What do you do that's different? Are you going to door knock 200 homes in their neighborhood? Are you going to, if it's a golf course community, are you going to go to every golf course in the area and talk to all the people at the pro shop and let them know that the property's for sale? Is that one of your special strategies? Are you going to mail 5,000 just listed postcards, 500, 100, whatever it is? Are you going to, what is it that you're going to do that makes your special sauce special to them? All right? So think about that. Why should I work with you? Why would I pick you over Brendan? Get that answer down pat and nothing will be able to stop you. So I'm excited for you to utilize these pro tips. If you have any other questions, please get the script book below. Would love your feedback. Please hit the like button if you found anything useful in here. Hit the subscribe button as I'm going to be releasing as many of these educational videos as I can, because again, I want to see everyone having success. It changed my life. I know it'll change your life. So, as always, I wish you great success.